Prince Daeron Targaryen, son of King Viserys and Queen Alicent, Dragon Rider, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and nowhere to be found in House of the Dragon. Until now, Otto Hightower finally confirms that Daeron does in fact exist in the show. Here's what he said. The Hightowers still have strength, and you have a son there who will take more kindly to instruction. Daeron may yet help us in weeks to come. He's still in Old Town at this point, but he'll play a vital role in the Dance of the Dragons. Today I want to look at Daeron as a character and look at how the show might implement him in the conflict. But first, who is Daeron Targaryen? As I've just mentioned, Daeron is the youngest son of Alicent and Viserys. That of course makes him the brother of Aegon, Aemond and Helaena. He's described to be the gentlest of them all, which is why many people are dying to see him. He's more like a soldier and as close to a genuine good guy as possible in the story. Because House of the Dragon condensed 30 years of history into 20 years of history for the TV adaptation, Daeron did not make an appearance yet. The best opportunity for his introduction would have probably been during the events of episode 6 at Driftmark, but I understand the decision to introduce him later. We had to focus on Aemond and Vhagar, and looking at Daeron's story going forward, he just wasn't really needed there. There was, however, a deleted scene in which Otto and Alicent talk about him. I think they should have kept it in. I would have loved to see Old Town and the Hightower in the show. Hobart Hightower was merged with the unnamed and unknown voice of Old Town, the Lord of Hightower. Since we already established that character in season 1, a scene at Old Town would have been great. For example, Daeron and Hobart Hightower reacting to the news of King Viserys' death and the following outbreak of the war could have made for a great introduction. When asked about Daeron, showrunner Ryan Condal had this to say. Daeron has not been cast yet. I've said he's a character in the show, but at this point in the story, he's in Old Town where he was warded off as a young child. We don't have a POV character in that world yet, and there is no dramatic reason to go there. This happened all the time in medieval times, particularly in the high nobility. You would take your youngest children and ward them off to other places so they grow up away from court and learn things and have their own place and station in the world. We know he's not yet a dragon rider, but he's had a dragon born to him. So he will come to the narrative and have a role to play, just as he does in a book. We're just not there yet in the storytelling. I think that's fair. There is enough people talking and plotting on the show, so I get why a TV show might want to go a different route. This is also where we head into the spoiler category of this video, by the way. So if you don't want to know anything, you might want to leave now. So, the biggest thing here is obviously Daeron not even being a dragon rider yet, and I honestly think that this presents a fantastic opportunity for his introduction. We know that the Dragon Seeds plot is in full swing this season, and I expect it to transition into the third one. Having Daeron claim Targaryen in the first episode of season 3 would make for a beautiful parallel. Also, and let's be honest, after Aegon's injuries, the Greens definitely need another dragon as soon as possible. Vhagar is huge, yeah, but the Blacks will have Caraxes, Vermithor, Silverwing, Syrax, Vermax, Sheepstealer, Seasmoke, and Moondancer. Daeron will obviously make the Greens more likable, and I think that's very much needed for a balance between both sides. I expect the Battle of the Gullet to open up season 3, with the fall of King's Landing following quickly after that. Depending on how far season 3 will go, how fast the pacing is, and how many episodes we'll get, the Battle of the Honeywang could be delayed so we can end the season with a big battle. I think that would make sense so we can properly develop Daeron before sending him into battle. That is just my guess though, we still don't really know how this season will go. When it comes to the characterization of Daeron, I think it will be relatively faithful to what we got in Fire and Blood. We could see him grow into a man over the course of the show, a typical hero's journey kind of thing, which is nothing new, but very refreshing in such a dark show like House of the Dragon. Some people speculate that Daeron could be the son of Kristen and Alicent, but the relationship is quite fresh according to Ryan Condal. It also just wouldn't make sense given that Daeron is a dragon rider. Others speculate that Otto could leave King's Landing permanently and join Daeron's cause. I doubt that because I think Daemon beheading him during the fall would make perfect sense for the show. He'll be in Highgarden soon, but I think he'll come back. We also just don't really need him to be present with Daeron. Otto could lay the foundation of his scheme. Very fittingly, once again by spilling ink, of course. He could send word about Aegon's and Aemon's incompetence to Old Town, and that in itself would already be enough to set up Daeron's arc later on. One thing I hope they'll definitely change is his death. I don't like either of the three choices Fire and Blood offer. I get the point that George R. R. Martin is trying to make, but I still think random people killing him is just so lame, and don't even get me started on a tent collapsing on him. Adam of Hall is right there, which presents the opportunity of a Dragon Rider's death. Hugh Hammer could also learn about the Caltrops' plans. He could blame Daeron for that and decide to kill him. Those are just two quick ideas I have, but I honestly think everything would be better than what we got in Fire and Blood. All in all, I'm very excited to see Daeron coming into play. He's very important, and I honestly think that his storyline is the one that keeps the dance interesting after the deaths of a few of our main characters. But what do you think? Do you like Daeron? What are you looking forward to the most? Leave it down below and let's have a discussion. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to subscribe so you don't miss my House of the Dragon reviews, live streams, and even cast interviews that I'll be doing for Season 2. See you later.